Salutations, utopians, global here. Hope all is well in your world. Want to talk a little bit about the action-packed sports day we had today. What a privilege! First and foremost, NHL Ovechkin tying Wayne Gretzky's record in scoring. You also had women's hoops. South Carolina and UConn playing in the national championship this Sunday. Shout out to Texas. Madison Booker had an unbelievable year. UCLA getting to the Final Four for the first time in program history. Um, Lauren Betts getting the Naismith Depoy. Corey Close winning Naismith Head Coach of the Year. What an unbelievable season. Can't wait to see Sienna Betts arrive next season. Get that Twin Tower action going. But they have nothing to be ashamed of. Unbelievable year for UCLA. And they'll definitely be back in the hunt. No questions asked. Um, but I want to talk a little bit about the association. I couldn't believe it today. Last 48 hours, that four-letter network was talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder and them being number one overall in the league. And is this the greatest Thunder team because their margin of victory is the greatest of all time, I believe. And it's up there with the Warriors 2016. I think the Bulls somewhere on that list, 96. And I was kind of appalled by it. I'm like, there's a lot that goes into things more than just a record. And I thought it was comical that they think this, Oklahoma City Thunder team can even compare. They pale in comparison for me when you think about Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook all being MVPs eventually. James wasn't, this cerebral that he is today. Um, at that time when he was in OKC, but he still was a very skillful scorer. And his selflessness and willingness to come off the bench, uh, to spread the wealth, this should not be taken for granted. But apparently, people were questioning, and I just found it ironic because tonight Ime Udoka, and I don't know if this was by design or what, started Steve Adams, former Oklahoma City Thunder legend. They got murals of him up still to this day. And they really, they being Houston, going with Segun at the four and starting Steven Adams really exposed Oklahoma for what Draymond has been concerned about from the beginning. People are questioning, are they physically capable of banging in the postseason? You know the ante goes up in the postseason. It gets more physical. And this is why I was telling people that I think the Minnesota is the one that will be in the finals representing the West because, and whether I'm right or wrong, I don't trust OKC. The Rockets win big tonight, and also and Thompson goes out there and even though that half court set is a little slow, with Sagoon and Adams, with Azor being such a supreme rebounder and such a ball hawk on defense, which I know that term is usually used in the NFL, it really allows them the luxury of sporting that big, towering front line that they got. And what I like even the most about it was that Sagoon wasn't in his Jokic bag. He was out there on some Karl Malone type shit where he was just out there trying to get buckets. You want him focused. Now, don't get me wrong. There was points in the game where they started sending the double team, and Segun got his teammates involved. But his mind was on getting a bucket, and he dropped over 30. And that's what you need. Ime needs one go-to guy. And when he moves Segun to the four, that's exactly what he has primed for the postseason. So I was very impressed. I was very pleased with that from Houston. It looks like they got a guy they can go to get and rely on to get a bucket deep in the game. He can shoot. He can face up. He can take you off the dribble. He can identify the double team. But I don't like the idea of him just walking down the court looking to get someone else open. You want him to be the guy who gets 30, 40 points a night. He's capable of it. He's physical. He's able to wear defense down. That's what you want. He's terrible on defense, but if he's out there getting you high volume buckets, there's nothing you can't handle with a little bit of, intention to get him to lock in on defense a little more. But he gets called ball watching. But immediately you notice like Houston looks like a real team then, and Oklahoma does not just seem like they look the part. The record doesn't reflect how good they are. I mean, how it doesn't reflect their weaknesses and their problems. Yes, they have length. Yes, they have athleticism. Yes, they have scoring. But physicality is a metrics that can't be quantified. And I think tonight really opens the door for real speculation. Are they serious? Are they ready? I don't think so. I still don't think it's their year or their time to go out and win a championship. I hate saying it. I like the crew, but I'm concerned about the physicality questions because Shet was limited to shooting threes tonight. He made a career high 6 of them, but everything was perimeter based. And if they don't win this year, I think Shet might have to move over to small forward and unleash his perimeter bag because he's just too light in the back pocket to be on the front line. There's a lot more to being a big man than just having length. You got to be able to hold your ground. And they got bullied tonight. There was plays Steve Adams was out of position, and he not only got the offensive rebound, he was getting putbacks, and the pressure that Segun was putting on the defense, it literally was opening up for easy dump off passes in the paint, whether it be Thompson, whether it be Steven Adams, whoever. Jabari Smith is still playing too, mind you, and he's got a 7'7" wingspan. That's another guy like Shet who I think he might want to start thinking about being more like Kevin Durant, getting in his small forward bag a little bit, becoming more of a hybrid so he can stay on the court longer. But I'm telling you right now, teams like Dallas, teams like Houston, teams that can give you a beefy front line seem to trouble OKC. And despite that amazing record, despite Shea being the MVP, I'm telling you right now, I don't see them representing the West as we speak, as currently constructed. Mark Daigneault has his work cut out from him. This guy, Sam Presti, he's doing everything he can. He's loading up that roster every year, but they're going to make some tough decisions if they don't make it this year, and I don't think they are because that power forward spot, that front line, they're just too light in the pockets. Hartenstein did a solid job. They got Williams, but like, what are you going to do with? It's just so much depth, so many. It's a numbers game, and I'm just telling you right now, I don't see it for OKC. They look exposed. Shea wasn't getting to the line tonight, and when he's not getting to the line, it looks like a dog fight for them to get some offensive identity. They don't really have a pure back to the basket scorer they can rely on, which I always tell people, having a post scorer is like having a run game in the NFL. You need to be able to control the clock, have that time of possession. The game slows down in the postseason. It gets more physical. And if you're not able to get that ball on the low block and get some buckets, you're going to be in a world of pain. And it looks like OKC, that's their biggest culprit. Physicality, paint work, getting some buckets out the post. Those are things that are not in their forte. So keep an eye out. I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing, it's not looking good for OKC. Hope this was informative, Utopians. I'll try to do better next time. Global out.